Good morning. Happy hump day. This is going to be a great day of trading. I can feel it. Today is going to be my last day for the week of trading. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving. Friday should be low volume also. It's a half day, I believe. And it's the day after Thanksgiving. So everyone's going to be hung over on food. But today, we'll make it the best we can to close off the week strong. Couple news events today. 8:30 in the morning, you have durable good orders, unemployment claims. 9:45, you have flash services PMI and flash manufacturing PMI. 10 o'clock, you have new home sales and consumer sentiment. And last but not least, 2 o'clock, you have Fed meeting minutes. So it is a long day of headlines ahead of us. Oh, and don't forget, 10:30, you have crude oil inventories, and 12 o'clock, you have nat gas storage. So long day ahead of us of economic events coming out, but that will not stop us from trading. But definitely keep an eye on pretty much every hour or every 30 minutes or whatever it is, because there's something coming out all day. So it might be a choppy day, given that tomorrow's Thanksgiving and we have a ton of new economic events today. Keep that in mind with your trading today. Probably keep it short and sweet. Taking a look at the markets, the Dixie. Yesterday, closed a week, rejecting that 108. We're now back retesting this area of consolidation that we had just left. So where it's sitting now, this 107, it's 106.8. Going to be an area you want to watch to see if the Dixie holds or not. This is the area that we broke out from the point of consolidation. And so that's now where we're sitting. And so if we give up this 106.9, then, we have a down day in front of us. However, it'd be nice just to see us consolidate in this area here, just to hold this breakout or continue higher. But we'll see what it gives us. I'd expect the dollar to just maintain this range in here for the day, or at least until some important news events come out, whether it's good or bad. But if it comes in line, you probably just see a consolidated Dixie today. Taking a look at rates. Same story with the rates. Kind of just sitting here at this 377 level. Looking at the 4 hour, this is a range, this consolidation area of contention that the rates have just been sitting in. Now at the bottom end of the range here. And so maybe we get a little bit of a pop with 10-year today heading towards 383 to maintain this point of consolidation here. Something to watch there. If that's the case, then maybe we see a weaker equities market today. Speaking of equities, looking at the leader, the Dow. Dow had a nice, let me remove these drawings here. Dow had a nice breakout yesterday, closed above this area of consolidation, super strong. I don't even know if it closed with an upper wick, just super strong close. We're running into an area of significance. This is the most recent point of intersection at this trend line. This was the August high, the run we had in August. We're now sitting on top of that, right at that zone here. And so something to keep an eye on is, the Dow's been really the leader here in the strongest indice. And if we start stalling at this area and we start pulling back, and especially if we get strong rates today, and also depending on all the news events, that's why I said this could be an interesting day, so be careful with trading out there. We could see a nice pullback from here, and it could be a start of a nice descent, because last time we were in this, if you drop a line here, I talk about this all the time. How does price action react to certain price points? There's 34,150. Last time we were here in August, obviously. Big drop. Last time we were here in May, big drop. Last time we were here in March, decent sized drop. And on the flip side, as it's holding as resistance, big drive forward, big drive forward, big drive forward. You know, so this area here, and a pivot point here, this is going to be a very, very, very important zone to watch for the Dow to see how it reacts. Do we break above, hold as support? That's going to be then really interesting to see. Well, then we get a nice continuation for Santa Rally. Or do we have this nice rejection and continuation down from here, which is what we've seen in the past lately? Kind of what I'm leaning more towards. So shorts on the Dow, very intriguing here. Clear stop above the area of interest. Looking for just a run down, even just a fill yesterday. I don't know if we get that today. I don't know if we get that this week. But I think that could be something to watch next week. One thing to keep in mind, though, is this weekly chart. A lot of wicks, a lot of rejection of this area here. And so you'd expect with all of these wicks and rejections that we will get then the same thing, wick down and close weak this week. You know, close doji or bearish. If we close the way we are, kind of doing something different than we have in the past here, and it's closing above these wicks, and we could get somewhat of a continuation back up towards this demand area. That's something to keep an eye on there. Good morning, Taz. Good to see you. All right, moving on from equities. I guess last note of interest here for the equities is the ES. Had this nice double bottom here, coming up to retest this trend line. So again, this area, super important area to watch to see if we get a rejection of this 40.80 level today. So watching that area on the equities as well. Moving on. Moving on to gold. Get rid of these drawings here. All right, gold daily chart. Yesterday closed with a nice rejection and weak bullish. Today, kind of maintaining the same range as we did yesterday. Looking at price action here. Gold showing a nice double bottom. And so ideally what I'd like to see is a drive to retest this head and shoulders neckline around 1756. And then we see a continued pullback with gold to fill some of this move still. So I'd really like to see gold base here, which is kind of what we're seeing, this nice double bottom, showing some exhaustion wicks in this area here. Sitting right at this trend line as well. So we're getting very tight in here with this exhaustion zone and this descending trend line, to where it could be an interesting area to where we could have a nice drive through to retest this neckline here right around 1756. So something I will be keeping an eye on. Although if we're looking for, whether I'm looking for longs to then short, or whether I'm just going to wait for the shorts, if I'm looking for longs, definitely keep an eye on silver, because silver could have a nice drive as well. Although I don't think that we're going to get a continued long, so maybe I just wait for the shorts and step out on the sides just to get a confirmed break here, retest the neckline, then I'll short here for continuation down. So I'll probably wait for the shorts on gold, but whether we get them today or not, I don't know. It's going to have lighter It's gonna be a pretty choppy day, so we'll see. Oil. I'm actually long oil right now. Had a nice spill overnight. We remove all these drawings here. I want to remove the recent ones. I don't remove all the drawings. I like my levels. Looking at the daily, nice exhaustion and dip buy right in here the last few days at this 77 area. Now today, heading back down into this supply zone. Very important area that we had a lot of rejection, pivot point in the past. Very big area of exhaustion and dip fire, so I'd expect oil to get dip bought here. The reason we're dropping down, had a nice little spill overnight here because headlines came out involving China COVID policies, saying, you know, there's really no way out and COVID, yada yada. But whatever, this drop here, you know, it's based off of recycled headlines, same headlines we've been getting the last year. China COVID, blah 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 blah, demand, blah blah blah. So I don't think that this is going to be a sustained down move today, and I think we do retrace and go back to the point of the scene of the crime here. So I dip bought twice already. I bought once in here, and I actually had a second entry right here. And so I'm averaged in right now. The prices are different, so I'm not giving you exact prices. I'm averaged in right around this area. Right around here is where my average price is for the longs. And so the reason I bought is because one, the first dip buy was this area of interest here that we were entering. And then second area was just in this previous exhaustion zone right in here as well. And I was just keeping an eye on price action. Just felt like a good area to buy. So right now I had a nice bullish engulfing in the 15-minute, 30-minute closed with a weak rejection, bullish candle. And so now I'd expect this to start pushing up, maybe one more retest and then continuation. But overall, I do expect it to retrace similar to this, where we had this big drop on Monday based off of the production hike news, and then we went right back to seeing the crime. So looking for something similar. Just got to be patient on this one. And so I'll look to, now would be, I was about to long oil too. Pablo says, yeah, well, the longs look good now because we're kind of sitting on top of this this ledge here to where we had some resistance. We broke above bullish engulfing. So it'd be interesting here to continue on higher. Could be a nice idea. We're sitting right on top of where my first entry was. But yeah, oil looks nice. We have oil inventories at 1030, but I'd expect oil to start grinding up. My take profit's going to be, I'm not looking for a whole move because I'm already stacked in a couple positions, so I don't need a whole move. So probably somewhere like right around 80.65 back to retest at least this breakdown here of this support level. I'll also keep an eye on this resistance level here that we had yesterday pre-market, this 80.42. So somewhere in this zone here is where I'll look to take off my positions. Because it's important. That's why it's important to follow fundamentals, because without following fundamentals and knowing what drove this down and how significant it is, knowing that, you know, China talking about COVID, they're locking down. Yes, it's a demand crunch for oil, so it said, oh, it should send oil down, which it did. But overall, these headlines have been coming out for a long time now, and so it's already priced into the market, and so that's why I expect this to go right back to seeing the crime and move back up, which is why we're finding good dip buying opportunities. So that's why it's important to follow fundamentals and know what it means which is another reason I was dip buying in here as well and riding this back up to see the crime, because fundamentals, you already knew, what was going to happen. So got to be patient, wait for it to retrace. Nice hourly exhaustion wick here as well, sitting right back above this support zone. Taking a look at pound yen. Pound yen breaking out since London session open, running into an important area of demand. This 168.9, this 169 area, topped out at 169. Big area of rejection back in October as well. So looking at the 4 hour, that was the most recent point of intersection with this descending trend line. Also an area of contention here. 1 hour as well. So this is an area I'd like to sell off of, but it's so strong that I don't even know if I want to if I want to sell this. But maybe we get this retracement at least back down to this breakout of 168.2. So I can get a nice 50 pips out of it, which would be decent. 30-minute, sitting with a nice doji, potential bearish engulfing. Yeah, shorts here look nice for pound yen against this 168.8. We're pushed back down to 168.2. 60 pips. Little head and shoulders here as well at this zone. Whoops. So retesting this neckline. Could be an interesting short right now. Dude, trading pound yen just seems so slow now compared to trading gold, oil, and the indices. I think GJ shorts would be really nice here. I just not too interested in it right now, but if short idea would be shorting here. Stop above this shoulder. Looking for a run down. Maybe 168.4. Or if you're looking for a move down to 168, like 350 area. But I'm focusing all my time and energy and effort today on oil because I think this has the most opportunity for alpha today. If it gets down to 166.80 area, would that indicate a long? 166.80. Yeah, I think so. I mean, although just be careful because it depends on when it gets down to the 166.80. So if you look at the weekly chart and we get down to 166.80, that would leave a massive rejection wick on the weekly, and we could potentially be closing with something like this and then rolling back over, right? So just be careful about when. If it's next week, I don't think we hit 166.80 this week. Maybe we do. But if we do, I wouldn't necessarily long because I'd be watching the weekly here. However, watching the daily, 166.80, sitting right around this 50% retracement, 38.2% retracement, right in the middle of this retracement zone in here, and a retest of this breakout. So definitely an area that would be an interesting long that I would definitely consider. Just depends on when it retraces and how fast and why. Is there any news? Is there news events? If it's just technical, then yeah, it could be very nice long. If it like kind of grinds down and finds its way as support there, interesting. But if it's based off of a news event and it's moving very fast, I probably wouldn't step in front of it. And if it's based off of a rejection on the weekly, also something to keep in mind there. So I think that it could be a very, very interesting idea to take longs there. There's a couple factors I would keep in mind if you were considering longs there, and I would definitely consider longs there. Yeah, anytime, dude. Anytime. But shorts look, yeah. I mean, look, the shorts I bet play out really nice here. Just focusing on oil right now. New Zealand had their rate hikes overnight. So saw some nice movement, some nice driving action overnight here, sitting on top of this important supply zone back from September, June in the summer. We're now sitting here at a triple top for New Zealand USD. But we are creating these higher lows. So maybe we start a breakout here if we can keep a weak dollar. Seems like we're finding some nice resistance. Seems like we're finding some nice support here. 30-minute closing in 17 seconds. 15-minute coming down just to retest this move before it heads back up. So normal price action here, finding some support. Because I'm already in two positions, I'm not going to add any more. But if I do add any more, it'll be if we get one more push through these lows. Then I'll look to add another, because then I think that's going to be the last drive down before we head back up. It's tough to find bottoms on these, so you can't expect to find a bottom, but you got to read the market, read the price action, scale in at smart areas, and then eventually you'll catch that ride up. You just gotta be patient. Looking at NASDAQ, I would definitely keep an eye on this zone in here for shorts, for a potential rejection. Very important area looking left in November. Resistance, exhaustion for support, exhaustion for resistance, double top, exhaustion with the resistance, and now triple top here, resistance. And this is also the start of a it's very strong move down on last Friday here. And so maybe we come back up to retrace and retest, some of this move, find some resistance at 11,008, and then look for shorts there. So, gonna be watching for indice shorts as we start approaching that area for the NAS. Gonna pull back. No oil here to retest these lows. Pretty quiet action out there today, outside of oil. Even oil slowed down a little bit. I think it's because it's a holiday week and you got a lot of news events today. So kind of a slower day, slower morning. Oil's back down to this rejection area. I consider taking another entry on oil if it reaches 78.15. This rejection right in here. 15-minute closed at this support area on oil, showing a little bit of divergence here, which is what you like to see. Typically on big moves like this, you want to look for those divergence plays in order to catch a potential bottom. Similar to this move from Monday, it break these lows as RSI is creating these higher lows, some divergence in here, so accumulate in here for this big move up. You want to find those divergence plays at oversold areas to help find an area where there could be potential basing and some expected rallying, and we're showing some divergence in this area we're sitting in right now. Just gotta be patient and maybe accumulate in this area. Righty. Got about 5 minutes left until 8 o'clock volume. Still showing that basing action here in oil, which is a good sign. Probably will continue to see that, and then once we start getting some volume back in the market towards 8:30, maybe 9 o'clock, then you see that move. Like I said, just gotta be patient on this one, but it should work out. Showing some nice divergence, showing some nice basing action, and showing some nice exhaustion in here as well. So overall, I expect this to work out. I'm just gonna have to kind of let it do its thing. Otherwise, pretty quiet out there today. Not much action out there in the markets. Getting a nice pound yen starting to pull off a little bit, but again, still really slow action out there. So I'll stay on here for a few more minutes. If you guys have any questions or want to go over anything, let me know. Otherwise, call it a week. Starting in 30 minutes, you have this. I guess in 30 minutes, you have the start of the wave of economic headlines. So keep that in mind if you're starting to look for trades and are in trades in 30 minutes. You have then a whole entire day's worth of headlines. So something to keep an eye on and keep in mind. Oil starting to pop from these lows. Could be the start of a nice push towards 80, 50. But yeah, about an hour stream. Shorter today, but very slow out there. Not much action going on. So we're just going to leave it the oil trade today. If you have any questions on that, guys, comment, hit me up in Discord, chat. Yeah, hopefully get this nice push in oil. Have a good rest of your day, guys. And have a great holiday. I'll see you in Discord, and I'll see you back Monday.